Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of the Still I Rise podcast. This is your host, Lisa McKenzie, and I'm so glad you've joined me today. Today, I am so excited to introduce you to a very special person. She's someone who reminds us all that even in the darkest storms, joy can still shine through. She's faced a series of incredibly difficult health challenges, more than any one of us could ever imagine. But what sets her apart is not just her resilience, it's her radiant spirit. I truly have never met anyone who, despite so much adversity, continues to show up with a smile, a laugh, and her own unique brand of humor that lifts everyone around her. Her attitude isn't just positive, it's powerful. She is living proof that courage and comedy can coexist, and that choosing joy can be a truly revolutionary act. Please help me welcome the inspiring, the hilarious, and the ever-uplifting Sandra Skippar-Broome. Hey, everybody. This is Lisa McKenzie, and if you're following along the podcast, you know that this month we are revisiting some of the ladies who've gone through our 2023 program. I had the fortune of flying up to Rhode Island to work with the third She Rose class from the Gloria Gemma group. And since I was up here, I thought, what a great time to have a little reunion with some of the ladies I met back in 2023 and to have them listen to their stories and then let us know, how life has changed or continue to evolve for them. So today I'm sitting here with Sandra Broome. And I'm so happy to see you.
Me too.
How
so
are you
happy.
doing?
Excited.
It's excited? Well, I'm excited to see you. I can't wait after we play your interview to just catch up and hear how you're doing. I follow you on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot new.
You've been through a lot. So we'll pause this interview right now, and then we'll come back and we'll have a follow-up conversation. Okay. This interview was originally recorded in August of 2023. Hi, everybody. I am sitting here with Sandra Skippar-Broome. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Did I say your name correct?
Yes.
Awesome. You are part of the Gloria Gemma class of 2023.
Yes.
She Rose program.
Yes. Very exciting.
It's been great to have you. You're fun.
Bubbly.
And by the way, the audience doesn't know, but you just came from surgery. You're still bandaged up, and we're putting on these amazing gowns at Alexandra's Boutique for a photo shoot. And the photographer said, "Do you want me to Photoshop out all these bandages?" And you said,
"No, we're going to show it. This is what a cancer patient goes through. This is what we're going to show in the photos."
Yes. And look how you look beautiful. And then at the same time, you've got fresh out of surgery bandages. Like that's like the epitome of amazing woman that you are. So thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thank you for all you do.
Oh gosh,
if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in this program.
Well, we enjoy it. Enjoy getting to know you and watching and witnessing the growth and the camaraderie that you form with all the other ladies. It means a lot to us to see that.
All these new best friends I have.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Absolutely. So with SCART and story crafting, and then even today, was there any part of this She Rose program that has been meaningful to you?
The whole program. Like the Scott was amazing. I never thought I could paint, and I painted my scars, and it helped a lot.
Yes.
Because you don't really look at yourself like that until it's on canvas, and you say, whoa, that's what I really look like. Yeah. All these scars, and this is what I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
You don't hide scars. You just show them.
Right.
Right.
So men do that most often, and women, hide them. But then on the other hand, once it tells what you've been through and shows how strong you are, because scars are part of your healing.
Yeah.
So, and then how has story crafting been for you?
Story crafting was amazing. I never thought I could write a story. It came to me with like 10 minutes.
I love that.
I got the pad of paper. I was watching my favorite movie, and all of a sudden I just wrote this.
Just the words
came out. And the words came out. Instead of a journey, it was a voyage. So ships and crabs, and it just all came out. And I was like, whoa.
I love that.
I couldn't do this in high school. This program is amazing. And my coach, Joy, oh, I love her.
I love Joy. I
wish she could have been here too.
I know she's here.
She's helped me
vicariously
get this far. So
I love that. And that's why people should probably sleep with a pen and a pad of paper near
yeah,
their bed.
because it comes in 10 minutes.
And
then
5
you
minutes. Can lose it that quick if you
You'll
don't
lose
write
it if you don't write it down. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you wrote it down, and I cannot wait to hear you read your story. And you have titled it The Calm Before the Storm. So everybody, without further ado, we're going to have Sandra read her story.
Okay. My name is Sandra Ann Skippar-Broome. I was born on March 26, 1976 in Stoughton, Massachusetts, to Irene and Stephen Skipper. I have an older brother, Joseph Skipper. My mom is a beautiful woman who was also my best friend. She worked at FootJoy. My dad was a great man who fought for our country in the Vietnam War. He was an Army Special Ops chef. I loved playing in dirt and making mud pies as a kid, and I was in the church choir at St. Teresa with my beautiful godmother, Annie Marie. I went to CCD Sunday school there, and I also went to Winthrop School in Brockton from grades 1 through 6. North Junior High School from grades 7 through 8, and attended Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical High School from grades 9 to 12. I took up distributive education and graduated high school in 1994. After high school, I attended Kinney Campbell Business School, where I took up professional office assistant and graduated in 1995. In 1996, I had my first child, a beautiful baby boy, Tyler, 9 pounds, ½ ounce, 21 inches long. 3 years later, in 1999, I had my second child, another beautiful baby boy, Zachary, 8 pounds, 15 ounces, 21 inches long. I got married to my high school sweetheart in June 2002, who is my boy's father. My dad was going through his cancer treatment and was able to attend my wedding. I was so happy he could be there, and I got my beautiful father-daughter dance. Our song was Butterfly Kisses. In January 2003, my dad lost his battle with head and neck sarcoma cancer from Agent Orange from his time in the military. It was so hard to cope with his passing. I never imagined 6 years later my life would crumble like sand on the beach. In 2009, my dad came into my dreams one night and told me I had to have a double mastectomy right away. It couldn't wait till the following year. I woke up pinching myself and convinced my doctors to do a double mastectomy. 2 weeks later, I would be diagnosed with 3 different types of breast cancers: invasive lobular carcinoma, extensive ductal carcinoma in sight, and lobular carcinoma in sight, and rare tumor cells. I was in shock. My jaw dropped. I couldn't believe my ears. If it wasn't for my dad, aka my angel, I wouldn't be here today. He saved my life. In 2009, at the end of the day, I have my beautiful family, aunts, uncles, cousins, sisters, and friends. I am blessed with my new pink sister and best support team a girl could ask for. I am a fun and very loving, caring, bubbly, outgoing person who loves ziplining, outdoor adventures, alligators, and great white sharks, and the beach. I especially love the sound of the waves and walking on the beach. I feel it heals the soul. I never thought my world could be turned upside down in a flash, and the fight for life begins. Life is no longer normal. Now I'm on a voyage, this ship called cancer. I lost my mom January 18, 2019. The voyage without my mom was going to be unimaginable. We talked 20 times a day. She was not only my mom, she was my best friend. I feel lost without her. I feel like my ship was being tossed about the sea in a hurricane. My compass was spinning out of control. Still till this day, I go to call her knowing she won't be answering. My ship was sinking, but the voyage must continue. I still feel like the clouds are clashing together in this storm called life. I now feel like a crab in the sand, digging a hole to hide until I find the guiding light that brings me out of my hole onto the beach. Smelling the salty air, listening to the waves splashing on the beach, the beautiful sun shining, and the seagulls flying in the sky. Now I can shed my exoskeleton and go into my bigger shell, and I can move forward living my best crabby life. Although life throws you curveballs, you have to find the strength to smile every day. I feel like cancer is this big, crazy cold storm where fluffy clouds turn dark and come crashing down like lightning. And the breezy cold wind whispers in your ear softly, You got this. The warm sun will come streaming through and the healing begins. Hopefully one day this cold storm will be over. And I would like to tell anyone going through cancer, moving about your days as if you didn't have cancer. Live every day to the fullest. Stay positive and carry on as if your cancer is gone. Start a journal on how you want your life to be when you no longer have cancer. And also, laughter is the best medicine I have learned from Dana-Farber. And always be your own advocate. That's my story, everybody. I helped a lot of people out there.
I love it. Well, Skipper, having that as part of your name is a good nautical reference, right?
Yeah.
I bet.
The skipper of the boat.
I love
That's
that.
what I was called in school, the skipper of the boat. And I said, I am the skipper of the boat.
I love it. You know, your advice to others is live as if you didn't have cat.
Yeah.
Very, very smart. And a psychologist or therapist once told a friend of mine who was dealing with some emotional troubles she always says, act as if. And hers was like body dysmorphia. This is different, but it was still a debilitating dysmorphia that she had. And so act as if is that, how would you actually feel if you weren't imagining like that you looked bad or that you were self-conscious? Like if you weren't self-conscious, would you be at the beach wearing a bathing suit or having fun or enjoying life? And that has helped her tremendously. Just act as if it's already there. And so that's wonderful.
You just move forward.
Your life.
Yeah.
I love it. And
just live it to the fullest.
And you, I know, are, cracking up our team and making us smile. And
I'm the bubbly, outgoing person.
Yes. And don't ever
I don't stress. I roll through every surgery. I'm up to 70 surgeries by now, so.
Wow.
No pain pills, just Tylenol, stuff like that.
Do you get any points for that or anything? Like a little punch?
I'd like to be in that the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay, well, Okay.
I'm 47 and I've had 70 surgeries. I said, wait a minute here, doc. Something's wrong. I'm past my age.
You're right. You got to get some kind of special trophy at this point, right?
Little trophy. Tiny.
Little
trophy. Like
this.
Yeah. Little tiny trophy.
Well, Sandra, thank you so much for everything and for being part of this program.
Well, thank you for this amazing experience. Like, ladies, this definitely helps. Like, join this program. You'll see, like, you'll be a different person.
You'll be on your own new voyage.
Yeah, new voyage. Yeah.
Thank you, hon. Okay, that was the interview from 2023. And now let's fast forward to today and see how Sandra is doing. All right, so we just listened to your interview and we're both cracking up. First of all, we got a lot to catch up on.
Yes,
because since that interview was taken a couple years ago, and you were bragging that you had 70 surgeries.
More than my age.
A lot more than your
Just
age.
turned 49.
Yes, a lot more. But you said you were like almost proud of the fact that now it's 72. Congratulations. Yay!
72 surgeries, still going.
You need a new punch card.
Yeah, I do.
So tell us, let's catch up on that. First of all, what has happened since?
Okay, so my newest surgery was an orbitotomy in the skull. They found a tumor in the orbit skull up here behind the eye, right next to the eye, behind the eye. So they did surgery December 11th, and 2 weeks after that, they did another one. So they went in and got the whole tumor. So it was a slow-growing cancer.
How did they find that tumor?
So I had headaches. Mm-hmm. And, cancer patients, and I always got to run to the doctors because we go enough. Trust me. So we wait pain out a little bit. A week goes by, and I said to my husband, this is some different pain. This is not right. And then I could feel it go down my face, and I was like, oh, okay. I was getting scared. So I went in, they said, let's do a brain MRI. All right, yeah, fine. Then they called me and said, sit down. And I said, I'm tired of sitting down. I'm going to stand up when you call me for results. I'm standing up. I'm not sitting down. I said, nope. You have a
by
tumor.
Yourself?
Yeah, I was by myself.
Okay.
You have a tumor. I said, of course I do. Why wouldn't I? I was like, where is he? Oh, he's in your skull. I was like, oh, great. That's what's the headaches from. Yes, you need surgery. I was like, oh. Had to find an eye oncologist, and she's a plastic surgeon. She's an all-in-one doctor. Dr. Grace Lee. Oh, lady did awesome. You can't really see the scar.
I didn't see it.
They took my eye out twice, went into the skull, and you really can't notice. I have a little, funny feeling still, from the nerves. So I'm 4 months out now, and it's doing wonders. So I have a CT on April 16th coming up just to check if it's coming back. If it's coming back, then they're going to do radiation. If it's not coming back, then we'll keep doing, CTs of the head.
So you've been through so much with your previous surgeries and diagnosis. Was this one a scary one for you, knowing that your eye has to be taken out of a socket?
It did. I had to
freak me out.
I've never had a panic attack. I've been going to Dana-Farber for over 20 years in Boston. I had a panic attack right before surgery. I looked at the doctor. I said, I can't go in. She's like, you what do you mean you can't go in? I said, my heart rate was just over 200 and my blood pressure's 200 over something. I can't go in the operating room. Are you crazy? I had to reschedule. She says, no, ma'am, you're just having a panic attack. I said, but I was laughing and sitting in the bed. I wasn't stressed. She said, this is a major surgery, so your brain just knew to put you in panic mode.
Yeah.
They gave me oxygen. They're rubbing my back. What nice nurses in Boston. They were rubbing my back, giving me oxygen. My husband's turning like colors because he said I look gray or something. I didn't even see what I look like because there's no mirror. So I'm like, I guess I'm gray. Okay. And she says, we're going to the operating room. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, what happens if something happens in there? Oh, we got you. There's 10 of us. So I was like, okay, you better have every inch of me.
10 of them.
Yeah, in the operating room with me. So they got, we're covered. I said, if I have a panic attack, well, I'm sleeping. Oh, we got medicine.
And did you ask them if they could all come home with you after?
Yes. I had them all dancing and laughing because that's what I do for every surgery.
You said something that when we were listening to your story that you learned your humor at Dana-Farber.
Yes.
Like you learned to laugh like
from my doctors.
How did that happen?
They gave me a book called Laughter is the Breast Medicine. And I said, the breast. I'm like, well, those are gone. Got the fake silicone things like a kid would chuck across the whatever. But I'm like, okay. So that book started me. So, I now post on Facebook my journey and people are like, oh, you think cancer's funny? I'm like, no, I don't find it funny. I've been going through hell for 20 years. If we don't laugh and forget the bad stuff, we're going to go crazy. And I don't want to go mental or crazy or nothing. I don't want to be on meds. I just want to get through it.
Are you naturally like this all the time?
All the time.
All
the time.
And I mean, you never have a down moment.
No.
And then somebody who has less going on has extremely down
moments.
But so it's interesting because following you from down in New Orleans on Facebook and seeing your posts, our team will say things like, oh, have you been following Sandra's story? Like we're probably sadder than you are. When you walk through the doors today, I didn't know what to expect. And
I came from Boston. I just saw my spine surgeon.
You're just like bubbly all the time.
Yes.
You have so much. We were just saying you need your own comedy show.
I do. Yes. Because now I had to see the spine surgeon because they just did a MRI of my pelvis and they found out that L2 to 3 and L4 to 5, when I had radiation here, it killed my spine. And it has new bone growing. So they said I had wings. I said, well, maybe my spine will fly right out. The doctor's like, oh, my God, Sandra, you just met me today. I was like, this is how I am. You have to get used to me. I am that bubbly dude. So, and he's like 7 foot tall, this doctor today. So he says, we're going to do another.
7 foot tall.
Yeah, he's tall. And we're going to do another MRI of the spine, and then we'll figure out where to go from there. But I told him there's no screws or bolts going in this lady's back.
Yeah. Now, meanwhile, the part you're not sharing yet is you have this new boyfriend.
Yes.
I'm sorry to tell your husband about
That's my new boyfriend, yes.
His name's Arthur. Why don't you tell us all about Arthur?
Okay, so like 24 days ago, I felt this tiny lump behind my left ear into my throat. And I said, well, I'm not going to just run because he's little. So I let my oncologist know. I messaged him. She says, okay, let's wait another 5-6 days because lymph nodes or whatever can go away. Oh, yeah, sure, I got you. All right, fine. And Monday comes. So that's been 8 days now. And I'm like, Mary, we have a situation. Well, what's the situation? I said, Arthur is coming out my neck. And she says, what? I said, yeah, he's growing bigger and bigger. This thing ain't getting smaller. So she says, let's do an ultrasound of your neck. All right, fine. They put me in for the ultrasound. Comes back right away. I just had the ultrasound. I went up to Dana-Farber's cafeteria to have lunch. There's the results coming through my phone. I'm like, the doctor's not here today. Oh, I gotta look at this. I looked at it. Oh, geez, I'm in for it. Bilateral enlarged lymph nodes in both sides of my throat and one above my collarbone. And then Arthur sitting in the parotid salivary gland. He thinks that's where you chew and digest, so that's not a good spot for my new boyfriend to be. But he's sitting there, and he's coming out my neck, and it bothers me when I chew it. I'm always like clearing my throat.
Huh.
So Arthur, he's got to go.
And is it scheduled to actually say so long to Arthur? Like, is there an appointment coming up to where Arthur is getting kicked to the...
This Sunday, the 13th, April 13th, will be my MRI of my neck. And then the head and neck cancer lady, Dr. Dana Farber, will call me Monday and tell me the plan. I already told her she ain't cutting the whole throat open. I said, you want to radiate him? That's fine. But
So interesting, because you've had so many surgeries. You've been cut up in so many places.
so many.
But this one, you're saying, no, you're not cutting me open.
Yeah,
but they have to, right?
She might have to cut, but I told her, you ain't go like, My father went through that with head and neck sarcoma. They cut his whole throat open. So I was like, you better find a tiny hole. Arthur's right there, just like...
Pull him out.
But the arteries are right there. That's what's tricky.
Yeah.
He is sitting next to my arteries. I said, Arthur, you can't be sitting on my arteries because that's my blood flow. Like, I need that to function. So...
What a rude boyfriend.
He's a rude boyfriend. Like, he's getting bigger and just sitting right there where the arteries are. And I'm like, go away.
Yeah. So now, have you named your other tumors in the past, or is
No, just this one.
just Arthur?
Arthur,
Okay, because
yeah.
he's a special guest.
He's a special guest one.
So you said that your dad had a head, neck, and throat cancer,
Yeah, sarcoma.
and but from Agent Orange fighting in the war.
Yep.
But you thought maybe you mentioned, oh, now I have it, but yours is not related. So do you think it's genetic? I mean, that's kind of strange.
No, I did have genetic testing. And
It's not genetic.
no. And my family passed away from every type of cancer. Both my grandmothers died of breast cancer. My mom's dead. My mom's mom and my father's mother. And then my titty had lung cancer, and everybody died of every cancer, but it's not hereditary. So that they said they asked me if I lived near a dump. I said I did in Brockton when I grew up. Not now, but the dump was right around the corner.
Bummer.
And they said, bingo. And I looked at Dana Farber. I said, what do you mean, bingo? They say, bingo? What do you mean? You drank that water? I said, I didn't play at the dump.
Oh.
Honey, how far was it? Here's my house. There's the dump. Street over. They said, how many people got cancer? I was like, 8 of us, I think, or 10 of us. Bingo. It's not hereditary. So you drank the dump. I said, oh,
Okay, that's just...
that's why I'm getting all these different cancers, like 5 different cancers, like the skull, the throat here, him, and then I still have leukemia coming. Breast cancer, they're saying, is linked to leukemia. I don't know how it's 2 different cancers because the breast and the blood is different, but they found I have the gene DNMT3A mutation. It's not a hereditary gene. It's probably from the dump. So I'm waiting. They said leukemia is coming in 1 to 7 years. I was like, I said, good, let me know when it comes, and then we'll tackle it. Other than that, I ain't paying attention to that.
Right.
That's in the back burner. You let me know when it comes. I'm not letting you know.
Right.
I get bruises that come and go all the time. I get bone pain. I get bloody noses. I get bloody gums. That's part of a pre-leukemia. But I don't have it. It's kind of hiding in there, so you can't pre-treat something that's hiding.
And you don't want to live through that every single day when it's not even here yet.
Yeah.
Right? No,
So
having that
I put him on the back burner.
Good. And so you also said something interesting. You're so fun. You said you were talking about the fact that when you get an MRI, especially because it's around your neck and your head, that you get strapped in in a...
It's like a casket.
it's got it.
I mean, MRI machines are open you can see out the bottom and the top, but that's not the point. You're in the middle of this machine. They put your whole body in there, and it's so tight that your head almost touches the top. And then my elbow kept hitting the side, and it's vibrating. I'm like, oh, my elbow hurts. And my elbow's like this. I'm like, stay still. I have to take Ativan. I never did before.
Just to keep your nerves...
To keep my nerves.
How long does it last, an MRI?
Because most head, if you're doing a brain or a neck MRI, you can be in there for an hour and a half.
Time. My gosh.
Yeah.
And so you were saying that you instruct the technician. to not talk while you're, because you keep falling asleep and then just giving you.
My Ativan's working. I'm going night-night.
You're like, I don't need to play by play.
Just come in, just go on the speaker and say, oh, we're all done. I'm pulling you out. Yeah, that's great. If you keep coming on telling me this pitch is 5 minutes, this one's 10 minutes, this one's 4, that's horrible. A person's nervous as it is. I said, don't come on the speaker no more. I don't care how long these pitches are. Just get the whole test done and wake me up and say, we're done. I don't want to hear 5, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes. Who does that to somebody?
Yeah, well,
because people are adding up these numbers and thinking, I still got a long time to go.
Yes. Well, anybody who's used to being, and you'd be the queen of knowing what it's like to be in a hospital and recovering, is that you do get a lot of play-by-plays throughout the day, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily always the most restful of conditions.
No. This month alone, I have 10 appointments.
Oh.
10 appointments in the month of April. It's worse than a full-time. It's like a full-time job.
Are you working?
No. And I've been on disability since I started with cancer.
You'd have to be.
Yeah.
Those amount of points.
And then people look at you and they bash you because you can walk and talk. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll take what do you work in an office? I used to work in an office, but he let me go because I can't give him the time. I'm always in the operating room, or I'm having a treatment, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. That's not fair to a company. I want to work. I love my house, but being home is like,
right. And just because they can't see what you're going through doesn't mean
they're
not going through a lot. And like, they'd be happier if you looked disabled.
Yeah, I said, what do cancer patients look like? They're supposed to look gray? Or supposed to be crippled? Because all my cancer friends, we're not gray.
Crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
To your point.
Yeah. And I'm like, we all walk normal and talk normal. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, there's people in wheelchairs and crutches and whatever. But most cancer patients are walking like me.
Yeah.
And I'll take your job and you can have my thing. And you can go through radiation and you can get all these needles in your chest, or mastectomy, or whatever, like scalp surgery, whatever we need. And then like, oh, no, I'll keep my job. I said, all right then. Like, because that hurts, because I was always a hard worker. You can't knock me for this, hey, God had plans. I don't know what his plans is yet. They say he has a plan. I'm still waiting to see, because he keeps putting me in that operating room.
Right. Well, I mean, interestingly enough, I think it sounds like what you're getting to do is experiencing surgery on every part of your body, and then having a sense of humor on it so that you can enlighten all of us about each other.
Yes.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's crazy what you're going through.
It's like I told Boston, I need my own operation game. Yeah. What are we going to take out of Sandra today? Like her femur bone, Oh, we're going to take the skull, Oh, look, her neck. We got to take that out. So I said, I want a game made up. I want one built, and I want it Sandra, and there's me, and we're going to pick which parts we're going to take today.
Now as they get close to your neck, it buzzes. Yeah. Don't go there.
Yeah, don't touch that. Yeah. Don't touch her artery, please. That's what I said. Oh, yeah. That's like, that keeps you alive. Yeah. The doctor's like, I'm not going to touch your artery. I'm like, yeah, no.
Well, I wanted to ask you, since you went through the program and you graduated in October of 2023, has life continued with the She Rose program for you in any aspect?
Yes, She Rose is amazing. Without you guys and the She Rose program, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I never felt more beautiful and just let the skies show. And now I'm doing modeling runways with cancer kids. So we're all survivors and thrivers and fighters. And I'm doing it May 3rd at Rhode Island Convention Center. So I already got my dress. We walk in the runway again.
So how all of you who are walking cancer survivors?
Yes.
And you're walking on behalf
some of my
of
She Rose sisters. She Rose sisters. Yes. Kids, yeah, that are fighting now.
Great.
Some of them have leukemia or whatever, and they're going through rough times. But watching them walk a runway, I was
they'll be walking too?
Yes.
That's really sweet.
Yes.
Do they? That's really, really neat. And for them to see how much strength. I mean, I'm sure you get a lot of strength from them too.
Yeah. Watching them walk the runway, I'm like, I got to take pointers from that little girl because she does it better than I do. And I'm 49 years old. I'm like, look at that. I got to walk like that.
Does anybody train you on the runway walking?
No.
See, now that's something
you just walk.
That's what we do down in our areas that we have. And this is a big shout out to Coach Leslie. But the ladies get about 6 weeks of training, 6 times.
Oh, nice.
Because there is, it's just shake off the nerves a little bit, but also just how to pose and how to kind of flirt with the camera, flirt with the audience or whatever,
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give you a couple pointers.
Yes, I know.
I'm not saying that I'm like an expert, but I've watched a
Yeah.
little bit, so I could show you a
Yeah.
couple things.
I'm gonna need a couple things
Yeah.
because I did the runway last year. My shoe came off.
Mhm.
When I'm halfway down, all these people are looking at me, and I'm just like,
Yes, and
I'm just slipping my shoe back on.
exactly.
And Zach, my son, said, I saw that. I said, do you think everybody else saw that too? He's like, nah. Because I came out walking like this, swinging my arms up in the air. I did not walk like a normal model.
Oh,
I was like,
that's cute.
hey, you know. And everybody's like, yeah, you know. And then I went like this.
Like you're at a rave party.
Yeah, yeah. My arms were up in the air. I don't know what made me do that, but that's
Well,
whatever music they had on is what I did.
wherever you wave your hands in the air like you don't care or something is the song. So do you stay in touch with any of your Shiro sisters?
Oh, yes. Our sisterhood is so amazing. We go out together. We go to eat. We do all kinds of things together. We're going to do beach stuff, all kinds of stuff.
Does it feel different now that you're alums from like the attitude you all
It's
have?
weird because we started a couple years ago. Now we're like the alums. I'm like, whoa.
You guys are like
Now we're showing the newer.
big men on
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word because you're women, but I've said this a million times is that the alums are my favorite part because like yesterday we were with the new class and they're so sweet, but there's that trepidation. They're still learning about each other and still finding their individual power.
Yes.
Where eventually it becomes almost like a collective power that you guys have.
Yep.
And you walk in differently as alums. You
Yes.
walk in just like, hey there, you know, it's so fun to watch.
We help them. Like I met a couple new Shiros. Oh no, they're not Shiros yet, but they're gonna join because I told them about it.
Good.
I met them when I was at Boscov's trying on my fancy dress at the Providence Mall.
Okay.
For this runway, May 3rd, we had to go there and Allie, Miss Rhode Island, we had to get all, dresses and stuff. So Allie's like, come meet these two ladies. So I said, okay. And I said, if you need guidance or help, I said, you should join the Shiros. And they're like, what is it? And I said, it's a 6-month program. And I went on, what it's done in there. And they're like, that's amazing. I said, you really, trust me, I wouldn't be where I am today without them. So
Yeah, I like
they
this.
said they're going to sign up.
I like that. And I cannot believe that this is already the third class in well over 80.
It's going
80.
fast.
Yeah, it is
It's like,
going
boom,
fast.
boom, boom, next
Yeah.
one. And I'm like, whoa, what's the next one?
Yes. Yes.
Ah.
You guys all inspire me. And I left yesterday. It was heavy. It was heavy in the best way. I mean, we heard some stories that were, they suck your ear. They just punch in the gut.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and you, but at the same time, you're also so inspired because everybody is so strong yet vulnerable. I don't know. It's a really beautiful
It is.
process to watch. Every time I do a SCART or, when you hear stories, it takes me a few hours. I'll go back to my hotel
Yeah.
room after I do an event like that. And I really have to have a good 24 hours to decompress.
Yeah.
But I watched yesterday these ladies, they truly, you could see the sisterhood forming yesterday.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Sisterhood is amazing because when you get diagnosed with cancer, all your regular friends go south.
Yeah, which is,
I have like over 100 pink sisters now, which is fine. And I have still some good friends from back in good sisters. But your other friends, they don't invite you to cookouts. They don't want to be around you because you're constantly having surgery, you're having radiation. And I'm like, well, it's not catchy. It's not the Black Plague. So I said, well, like, you can't be a real friend then.
yeah.
Well, we don't know what to say. Okay. Yeah, I get that. A lot of people don't know what to say, but you don't just like go away from us.
Fair weather fans.
Yeah. So, like, I don't need you. I have all these pink sisters now. Bye.
I wonder what that is. I'm sure there's some psychologists who could explain why that is, why certain friends can't handle the reality of life and only want you around if you always are good jokes,
Yeah.
but like they just can't handle, maybe they just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to support you.
Yeah. So they don't come around. They don't talk to you. They just disappear. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not cool. That's not. And when I talk to my other pink sisters, that same thing happened to them.
Oh, that's so strange.
So I'm like, okay, it's not just me. They're like, no, all my regular friends went south. I was like, what?
That's
For
got to be
what?
driven by fear. I think it's everybody's fear of
Yeah.
just mortality or like, what if that ever happened to me? And they like they'd rather put their blinders on.
Yeah.
Just like pretend like it doesn't exist.
But if you're supposed to be this person's really good friend, you stick by them no matter the thick, the thin, whatever the heck they're going through. You stay with them. You don't just, oh, she's got cancer. I'm not her friend. I won't like it. They can just go away. I'm like, well, you want to go away? I have 100 new pink sisters.
You're right.
We all go through the same thing. We can help each other.
Yes.
They're wonderful.
What kind of advice would you say to these ladies? They're just starting to enter this different kind of stage. They're about to go into story crafting.
Oh, story crafting is fun. I never thought I could write a story. Not in high school I couldn't, but when you're diagnosed, you just come out with stories, poems, all kinds of things. Your mind just, I don't know, it just flows.
Yeah. And so
it's like a spark.
Do you think it's important for them to share their stories?
Yeah, I think it's going to empower so many people out there. If every person shares their story, it's going to help it might help one person out there, 2, 3, 500.
How does it help your immediate family, your kids and your husband?
Well, it helps them because I'm so bubbly, and I'm never going to give up. I never stress. It gets tiring. You're drained, but I'm like a bull, per se. You can't if you knock me down, I'm going to get back up.
Yeah.
Knock me down, I'm going to get back up.
Have they learned to use humor in their own
Yes,
actions?
They do.
Really?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, that way they're not, no anxiety, no stress. They're like, just, Mama, look at Mama,
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. So what's next for you?
So next will be the runway fashion show.
Okay.
May 3rd. And, hanging out with my pink sister.
And the MRI for you.
And the MRI for my neck. And then waiting for leukemia to show up. I don't know when that's showing up, but we'll see. Yeah. That nice leukemia.
And is Lou going to be called Big Lou or something?
Yeah, we'll call him Big Lou. Big Lou. And then we got Arthur. Arthur's got to go. This boyfriend on my neck, he's like coming out the side. He's got to go.
Okay. Well, I met Arthur.
Yes.
And I hope I don't get to see him again.
He's got to go.
But however he goes, I hope that it's a very easy for
Yes.
And a really easy recovery. And really just a shout out to what sounds like an amazing care team that you have at Dana-Farber.
All my doctors.
Really sounds
I've
great.
been going out there 20 years. My care team, my doctors were just amazing.
So good to hear.
I love them. Like without them, without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Yeah, we all fill our own.
I go to Dana-Farber, I tell them all about the She-Rose there.
Yeah.
That's Boston, and they're like, oh, Rhode Island? I said, yes, you can go to Rhode Island. I'm in Fall River. I don't live in Rhode Island, and I'm at the Gloria Gemma. I said, you really need this program. Trust me.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't need anything. You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being such an amazing ambassador for the Gloria Gemma program, for the She-Rose program. And most of all, I really appreciate this friendship that's blossomed with you.
Oh, I love our friendship.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
And I'm so happy to see you in person.
Yay!
Well, I look forward to catching up, and I'm going to be looking for those runway pictures.
Yes.
And let's go into the other room. We're going to do some runway lessons.
Yes.
Okay.
We got some runway lessons.
All right. Bye. Thank you for joining me today on the Still I Rise podcast. Before we say goodbye today, I did want to give you a sneak peek into next week's guest. I am joined by Dr. Vera Hendricks, who is a breast surgeon oncologist with Mary Bird Perkins in Covington, Louisiana. I was able to sit down and get her perspective and insights of what happens when she meets a new patient who is diagnosed with breast cancer at any stage. And we just asked some of the questions some of our listeners want to know. I also got to sit down with her as she shared her personal journey that is really, truly one of profound resilience. She faced the unimaginable loss of her husband to cancer while she was pregnant, and yet she continues to inspire and lead with unmatched compassion and strength. You won't want to miss her insights and the powerful story she'll share with us. So stay tuned. The conversations are just getting started. We'll see you on our next episode. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.